In today's video tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate how to create elegant chocolate leaves for your cakes and cupcakes. What I have is some candy coating that I've melted, and it's just white candy coating, and I've put it in a disposable piping bag with the tip snipped away. And all that we're going to do is just kind of pipe a dot, and I'm going to pull it out just slightly. And then I'm going to go in with my spatula and just kind of thin it out and shape it and just let it end in a point. And you can do several of these. You can make some that are very small and then some that are large like this one. So this is our first way, and I'm going to make several of these because we might use these as filler. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to create the chocolate leaves by using actual leaves as your little form. So what I have are some camellia leaves, and we've washed them gently and dried them. Make sure that they're completely dry. And then I'm just going to brush chocolate over the leaf. Let's try piping some of the chocolate on first. That might make it a little bit easier. I'm just going to hold it by the stem, and we'll just brush over the entire leaf. One of the advantages of doing your chocolate leaves this way is that you get all of the veins from the actual leaf on your chocolate leaf. It will show up. I'm going to try to make it fairly thick, and if it's too thin, it will be a little too fragile. Okay, and then you can just kind of drag it away from all of that excess chocolate that had dripped off of it so that it will be a little more neat. Okay, I'm just going to repeat this process several more times. If you want a colorful wreath of leaves, you could also use tinted candy coating, or you could tint the coating yourself using an oil-based candy color. Okay. So as you can see, this is easy to do. It's just a little time consuming. So I'm going to pull this to the side. I'm just going to continue painting the backs of my leaves, and we're using the flip side because that's where the veins are the most prominent. So we'll meet back in just a few minutes so that you can see a little more of the process. Okay, now that these chocolate leaves have all been painted, I'm going to freeze this tray for about 10 minutes or so until the leaves are very firm. Just make sure the chocolate's very firm, and then we will move on to decorating our cake. Okay, I just removed the tray from the freezer, and I've turned my wax paper slightly because I'm going to put the finished leaves on our tray right here. So what you'll do is just pick up one of the leaves and just take the stem and peel backwards, and there we have a pretty white chocolate leaf. We'll do that for all of these. It's good to make a few more than you'll need, just to be on the safe side. But I think these will look really nice. You can leave them just as they are, or you can pearlize them. This one has a little leaf still stuck to it. And you can just gently glide over any rough edges with a very sharp knife if you need to kind of shave off anything. And then of course these are the ones that we just made by hand, and we'll probably use some of these as filler. But I'm going to go ahead and finish removing all of the real leaves from the chocolate, and then we'll just kind of figure out what our favorite leaves are and use those. Okay, so here is my tray of leaves, and I'm just going to set these to the side for now. But right before we start to decorate the cake, I'm going to just pop them in the freezer one last time for about maybe 10 minutes, just to make sure that they're really firm before handling them, because they do get a lot more fragile once they're at room temperature. But anyway, I think they look really pretty. They're going to look very nice on the cake, I think. So we'll set these to the side and start working on our cake. Okay, so now I have just about finished putting on my frosting for the second and final layer of frosting for the cake. And what I like to do is just go over it with a bench scraper and get it fairly smooth before I go back in and texture it, because we're going to do sort of a ridged effect with our spatula today. So what I'm going to do is just take my small offset spatula and we'll just rotate it. And with each rotation, I'm just carrying the ridges just a little bit higher. And you can see it's building up on my spatula. So every now and then I'm just going to clean that off. But of course you can frost the cake smooth if you'd rather frost it smooth. And then for the top of the cake, I'm going to clean off the edges that we have that have built up a little bit first. And if at any time your frosting seems way too soft, you can chill it in the freezer for 10 minutes and then just go back in. But I'm just going to do a quick spiral. Okay. So I'm just going to start in the middle and just lightly press down as we rotate. Once again, with each rotation, we're just carrying the spatula just slightly further out. Okay. And now it's time to add our chocolate leaves. Okay, so now you can see I'm adding my leaves to the cake. And if you are worried about being able to sort of arrange the leaves and pick them up while you're arranging, then you might want to freeze your frosted cake first so that the frosting is firm and you won't have to worry about messing things up. But my frosting right now is soft and I'm just, hoping for the best. I think it'll be okay. Okay, so I'm just arranging these around. I think they're very pretty, and because they were brushed onto actual leaves, they do have some movement to them, which is nice. And so I'm just kind of figuring this out as I go. I might shift these around a little bit. Okay, so you can see I've added all of my white chocolate leaves, and I also washed and put on some just fresh cranberries. So these are uncooked, and I'm just using these as a garnish for our wreath to make it look more festive. And you can also see that I have some green accents, and that is just thyme. You can use thyme or you can use rosemary, and these just are little sprigs, and you can just cut off snippets of these. And the flavor, of course, doesn't go with our cake, so I wouldn't use so many that it's difficult to remove, but I do think it adds nice color and just some interest. And if this is a holiday cake, I think it does look like the pretty greenery that you would see in a wreath. Okay, so our cake is finished. I love the look of this cake. I think it's so pretty and festive. And as you saw, it's not a difficult decoration to create. So I hope you'll give it a try. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.